talked about this a little bit earlier in the week, and I think, John, you were on with us. I know the four of us, there might have even been a fifth voice here as well. But I'm curious right now, as we continue to kind of move to the draft, has anybody heard anything about the Eagles moving up? Like tangibly trying to move up, or is it just something that's been thrown out there by people like us who are talking on the radio?
Yeah, well, nobody's thinking about that right now because you haven't even gone through free agency. So you have to see what everybody's
strapped, aren't they? Though, I mean, what could they really do in free agency?
Well, I mean the league as a whole. So when you start thinking about teams moving up, you have to see what their plans are. But if the Eagles love a player, I mean, they have extra draft capital. So, yeah, people are just speculating. So if you love Justin Fields that much, he's not going to be their number 6. Maybe you try to bump up. That's where it comes from.
Especially with teams that are going to be trying to be very, very aggressive that don't have quarterbacks, trying to get into the top 4. There's going to be a lot of teams trying to do that.
Carolina at 8. I mean, Carolina's looking for a quarterback. So
no question about that.
They're going to try to jump up at some point. Mm-hmm. And so you have to be wary about that. But I think the Eagles are going to be comfortable staying at 6 and just taking best player available. They have so many needs. You know, if Sewell falls at left tackle, they could take him. Yeah. You have the 3 receivers. If a quarterback does fall, you have to consider it. But they have a lot of options. I think they're going to be comfortable.
You see Pitts getting down there? You see Pitts a possibility?
Yeah, I do, because you're going to hear a lot of talk about Pitts going higher, but bottom line is tight end is tight end. Even though he's more than that, like how can you justify? I always look at Calvin Johnson. Calvin's going to the Hall of Fame, right? Number 2 overall pick, maybe the best physical presence ever at wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Lions won 10 games twice with him. Yeah. There is something to the value of the position.
But if the owner says, I don't care. I want Devontae Smith, then what the hell do you think's going to happen?
Well, I don't think that Jeffrey Lurie is that kind of. I know people are saying it. I don't think so, man. I just from what I know of him personally, I don't see him as being that type of guy because he understands his shortcomings and he understands what, football people are. So I don't know if he would be that type of coach.
This has been a complete departure of the picture that's been painted of Jeffrey Lurie. We've been talking about a guy who has been full-on Daniel Snyder, Jerry Jones level of meddling.
He's gotten more involved. He's not at that level, but he's gotten more involved. The weird thing, the counterintuitive thing to me was Doug Peterson. Like he had this weird mentality because Doug had stayed with Andy throughout his coaching career. He didn't have enough relationships to form a coaching staff. Whereas Nick Sirianni, bounced around like normal coaches. So he met more people so he can pick his coaching staff. So I'm like, what do you want, Doug to fail? Like you're a terrible coach, then move around, you get more relationships? That didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right, just something to think about. Now, we're back on Friday. Appreciate everybody hanging out. One more alien theory. Unita base in Utah? Mr. Intentional brings that up just on the way out.
I don't know about that joint.
How do you even pronounce that? Unta? I got to check that out. See, this is content, not some cat intestines crap. That's trying to get us to watch.
Everybody watch Hannibal. You owe that to me. You owe that to me, Eitan. At least watch the first episode.
I owe Mr. Intentional a Google search. That's what I owe. Get out of here. All right, we're back on Friday.
Looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out Book It Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the Book It Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following and stand out amongst your friends by downloading Book It Sports today on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The middle.
It's called the Gonza Fort Peninsula Park.
Looks nice.
It's a nice green space.
Right. Just looks like, what's the park in the middle of New York?
Central Park?
Central Park, yeah. Central Park, yeah.
Most famous park in the world.
Right. It's probably the most famous green space on the planet.
The Middle with Eitan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays. Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.